Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a quick look here at AVAX, seeing what's going on. This coin is doing very, very well, performing nicely. So we're just going to double check a few key factors, kind of see what's going on in the overall sense. We could see a shift in momentum. We're coming up to that 0.618 fib level. If we don't close above that, we may see a continuation to the downside, but we're in an interesting place right now with the market, especially with Bitcoin being right there at a crucial point leading into the Fed meeting. It's going to be an interesting day here. We got about an hour before that happens. By the time you watch this, you could see a very messy chart. Just a heads up, that's exactly what happens when that occurs. So take a look here. This is the last 7 days worth of trading. We can kind of see here heavy amount of liquidation levels at about $34. That lower level was swept. Okay, that's a pretty common occurrence. You see this nice little trend line, this little support level. Price wicks down below, sweeps that lower level, and then just returns back as if it never happened. So common. Same thing here as well, upwards of about $37. We saw 36.80, 37 even get swept there, and the price pulled back. So really common occurrence where we're sweeping these upper and lower levels of liquidity. So what's going to happen next? Well, anything could happen. Honestly, at this point, this doesn't tell us much. It just tells us there's a heavy amount of liquidation at about 33.90, roughly 34. The same thing about 37. So 34 to 37 is that range here we're seeing here for AVAX. Anything could happen, honestly, at this point. So having said that, though, we can kind of understand those are some concentrated areas. So in that sense, if we look at 37 here on the chart, we can see just above this key level here, this most recent high, we have a lot of liquidation hanging out there. And then same thing here as well, right there at this level. So just above and below the most recent candle wicks, essentially. So that's kind of standard stuff. What else is standard? Well, let's take a look at the moving averages here. We're above the 20, which is a good trend setter, right? However, we're still below the 50. Not a lot of coins are in this position. It's kind of a curious position where you're under the 50 but above the 20. It's positive nonetheless because being above the 20 tells us that we're trending upwards and that the overall trend is up, but it's also letting us know that, hey, we got some resistance here in that $37, $38 range, which we kind of already can see with the liquidation, right? That's why there's so much liquidation there, because there's a lot of support or resistance in that range. Taking a look here, stochastic RSI swinging down, letting us know we're seeing a shift in momentum. Obviously, we've seen the last 5, 6, 7 trading days very, very bullish. Okay, so that what goes up must come down. So we're in a situation where that could very well be the case here for us. Okay, having said that, taking a look at the 50-day SMA, or sorry, the 50 on the RSI rather. That's a good sign to be above that level. That could very well work as a support. Okay, and that's kind of running concurrent with its 0.382, 0.5 range. So roughly 33 to 34.50 is that support range that we have based on previous support levels, but also moving averages and a few other key factors. Smaller time frames will identify that too. You can see these moving averages here right down the low $30 range, sorry, low $33 range. And at this point here, the 20-day SMA holding the price action down for the moment. So being above that 20-day SMA would be huge, but we did lose this ascending trend line here. So it is a potential shift in momentum, just implying that we are range bound now. And when you are in range bound activity, price can essentially reverse itself or just continue higher, right? It could absolutely do that. So it's not like it's a very telling sign telling us that, hey, we're in a range, it's going to break up or down. It's more just letting us know that, hey, that's this transition. We could very well see a breakdown as well. Okay, so we got to be prepared and ready for that. Speaking of which, taking a look at stochastic RSI, you can see that swinging up. It's typically a bullish sign. It's obviously doing that because of the fact that the price action has recovered off this lower liquidity sweep. Okay? We'll take a look at the MACD. It's trying to diverge, but hasn't fully diverged yet. Or sorry, it's trying to converge rather. It's trying to swing up, but hasn't done so yet. And then the RSI is above 50. We got that little pivot off of 50. Okay, so that's where 50 on the RSI is a very big deal. So to me, being on this side of the track, so to speak, we're more so on the bullish side. So AVAX is looking pretty strong in that sense. Generally, on the 4-hour time frame, these are more contributing factors than disadvantageous factors. So you could summarize the 4-hour time frame. It looks slightly more bullish than bearish. Okay? The hourly time frame, of course, we can see that we're kind of above and below all moving averages. It's not a great sign. We'd like to be definitively above or below, but we're not. And if we look at the Ichimoku cloud, we are below the cloud here too. But the lagging span is getting closer to the price action. So if you have a short position open, it's basically saying, hey, you may not need to hold that open for much longer, right? The price action will likely continue to reverse itself, and in turn, you may want to consider taking profits on your short. Okay. So again, right now is not a greedy market, folks. Until we confirm bullish for Bitcoin, you got to take profits while you can. Exactly the reason why we took some profits here in our premium group at about 33% for Chainlink, and then target for 78% for Solana. So again, different strokes for different folks, right? But AVAX hasn't really confirmed anything bullish or bearish in the last few days. So at this point with this transitionary time frame, I'd highly recommend being patient. And what I like to look for here in situations like this is for the price action to come over here and to essentially consider taking a trade when the price is at maybe about 30, 35 or higher at the very least. Or sorry, 35. No. Let me re-speak that. $36 or higher would be a good appropriate confirmation. Because again, you want to wait for a few hours above the cloud in order to get that. So the truth is right now we're below some resistances. We're in a range, and at this point here, the moving averages based on the Ichimoku cloud are basically telling us that we're below those moving averages, and those are important ones, okay? So to me, there's no confirmation here at this point to want to even warrant a long or a short, because your short should be closed soon in profit, and your long should be waiting for confirmation, essentially, okay? So I'll post this on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord so you understand generally what I mean by that. I usually post a playout chart that has like an X on it, and just so you know, future reference, that's basically confirmation. That's what we're looking for, okay? So right now, we're below the cloud. We have no reason to really take a long position. Again, if you have a short position open, you may want to consider taking profits because it certainly looks like we're soon to see this window close, okay? So that's kind of where we're at there for AVAX. And what does that mean for you? That means that you should probably consider waiting to take a trade. Again, 95% of trading is waiting, and sometimes you wait 99% of the time. And you find those good little the glimmers of hope, and you take those trades, and you certainly hope that they work out. Okay. But again, that hope becomes more realistic if you use good TA and you understand generally that being patient is paramount. So I just try to keep reaffirming that to my community here, because my community, they'll get a little impatient sometimes, and I get it. But not every trade goes the way that you want it to right away. But in the big picture, they typically go where you want them to go if you use the proper macro analysis and essentially set your targets correctly. And those are things that I specialize in. So hopefully you can find benefit there if you want to become a better trader. Again, cryptocash.tech is linked down below. Also reference to our Twitter, Telegram, or Discord. Awesome stuff over here with the playout charts. This is the most important thing though, because we get a lot of VPN KYC required exchanges out there nowadays. This exchange does not require that. And again, if you're in the US, Canada, other countries, make sure you reference them. Use my link below. You'll receive nice rewards for using their exchange, but also get eligible for any future trading competitions. So awesome stuff. Thanks again, BingX, for an awesome opportunity. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. We'll look forward to seeing the next video. Take good care of yourself, folks. Bye-bye.